And this is actually our fourth session already. So just to recap, on the first session, we went through the installation to set up the environment for Flutter development. And then the second session, we studied a bit on Dart. So Dart is the language that we use to code in Flutter. And then the third one, which we had last week, we started to write our first Flutter app, which is a startup name generator. And today we are going to go with the part 2 of the app, where we are going to add more functionalities into it. So before we start, I think I will let Kamari to take over. She
Hey,
will
thank you, Yang, and hello, everyone. I am, while Yang is getting the screen share up, I'll get mine up. I am the track lead for the Women Who Code mobile and front-end tracks, and Yang so graciously allowed our tracks to also promote and sponsor this event. So if any of you are in here from the mobile and front-end tracks, feel free to say hey, but I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to talk about those tracks for those of you who aren't familiar. So Women Who Code, oops, there we go. Our mission is to inspire women to excel in technology careers. And what this means is we envision a world where women are represented across the entire C-suite, as well as founders, VCs, software engineers. So the organization is really focused on creating opportunities for women to have professional development and also community. So this event, you're doing, Yang, is very much in that vein of helping level up with new skills that are coming through. For all of our events, our code of conduct is we're inclusive fully, and this means along the lines of gender as well. So while our mission and vision are to center women and to promote women into these positions, we really welcome everyone and do not discriminate on any type of identity. Our target is definitely engineers with some experience, although that's not consistently true across the board. I have absolutely seen a lot of beginners come through and find value in going to Women Who Code events and just being a part of the community. But typically engineers with 2 or more years of experience. In terms of our members, these numbers are not very accurate anymore, but only larger. So there's around 200,000 members. With 70 networks. So right now, this event is the Kuala Lumpur network, of course, in 20 countries and members in 97 plus countries. So really what Women Who Code is about is, like I said, allowing for this vision to take place by way of connecting women in every sense of the word. So connecting for professional opportunities, connecting for just being seen within this industry that, is not traditionally led with women at the front, at least outwardly. We know that, behind the scenes, women have been around technology since the beginning, but we really want to make sure those visual positions are being held by women moving forward. So for the tracks specifically, there's 6 tracks. There's front-end, data science, mobile, blockchain, Python, and cloud. And if you are interested, I would definitely suggest to take a look at womenwhocode.com/digital. This is where you'll see all of the things that we're doing with those tracks. So a lot of it is around just committing to deliver quality programming to our members. So more of what we'll see, I am based in the US, so a lot of the events that I've been scheduling for front end and mobile have been, at times that are a little more accessible for the US, which is why I really want to continue partnering with the chapters. So thank you again, Yang. That's my last slide, and I will turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Kamari, for giving the nice introduction to Women Who Code. So I will continue my screen sharing. Let me see. how do I do this? Still very unfamiliar with Zoom yet.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's always the learning curve.
sorry, just give me a few moments. All right, I'm not sure if you can see my screen now. Can
Yes, I
you?
can see it.
Okay, all right. So yeah, just to set the expectation right, I just want to talk a little bit about our study group. So I want to emphasize that this is not a workshop because there are many who come to me and ask when we will have this workshop, can you talk about this thing? But then we want to make this learn together session where we encourage active participation from everyone. So whenever you want to speak, just feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions or give comments. Or if anyone has a question, you can also post it in the chat. And if you are facing issues and you don't know what's wrong, you can also share your screen so we can debug together. Or maybe you just want to show your progress, that's okay. And yeah, so the goal of this group is to help one another. And we have a Facebook group. So if you haven't joined it, please join this group. I think I'll copy this and paste in the chat. Okay, where's my chat? Okay, so here in the group, once you have joined, I think you will see there's a bunch of discussions here, and then there's also a unit. So the unit is where I post the learning materials for each session. So now we are at the 4th unit, so you can find it here. And for the previous unit, if you want to watch the recording, I also post it in each unit here, so you can find the recording to the past sessions. And yep, so today we are going into part 2. So while you click this, then you will arrive here. So this is a Codelab prepared by Google, and then we will just follow through each step here. And then because this is part 2, so we assume that you have already completed part 1. So we will just continue from the code that we have from the end here. So let's do this. You should be able to see my code now. I'm opening a Visual Studio Code here. And now I have already started the app, which is from last week. Yeah, so here there is a random word pair generated, and this goes infinitely. Yeah, so we will start from here. That's okay. So what we are going to learn today is we will know how to write a Flutter app that looks natural, and then use hot reloading, add some interactivity. Now you can navigate to a new screen, and how do you change the look of an app. So by the end of part 2, we should be able to get this. So I think this is like you can mark as favorite, bookmark some of the favorite names, and then you can save to a list where you can navigate to. Okay, so yeah, if you haven't set up your Flutter environment, you can check out our first session recording to follow through. I think I saw Audrey posted a link there for the installation on Mac. Okay, I'm not sure where now. All right, and then yeah. So this part, I think we already went through. We already added this English words package. And then once you save it, it would automatically run pubget. So we can skip this. Okay, now something new. We need to add icons to the list. Add save to the random word state. So we are adding a set of word pair. We will copy this and put in random word state. Okay. I think I'll remove the comment here. In the build row function, add an already saved check to ensure that a word pairing has not been added. Okay, this one I will put in build row. Okay, then in build row, you also add heart shape icons. That's the heart icon to the list tile objects. So add the icons after the text. We are using a list tile, and then we are putting a trailing icon. All right, I will copy this part and put in the list tile. So list tile can also take in the trailing property. So once I save it, you should be able to see the icon here. I think it wouldn't work yet if I tap on it because we haven't added the state handling. So let's continue. Yep, hot reload the app. So just now, once we save, once we paste here and save, it should auto hot reload it. You can see it in your console. So the look and feel will be more or less the same on Android and iOS, but then the app bar will be rendered slightly different. Okay, add interactivity. Now we will make the heart icons tappable. So as user tap on entry in a list, it will toggle the favorite state. Yeah, so as we tap on this, we want to add the entry to the favorites, which is in the save set. So let's do this. To do that, you'll modify the build row function. If a word entry has already been added, tapping again will remove it from favorites. So on tap, you need to call the set state to notify Flutter that state has changed. On tab to the build row. So I will add this. List tile. Okay, I should add this to list tile. So list tile is a built-in widget by Flutter, and it can listen on the tab event. So right now we are just adding this part of the code to the tab on tab listener. So let's see. Okay, so it is working now. In Flutter's reactive style framework, calling set state will trigger the build method. So rendering means that you are rendering the UI, the widget. So the rendering part is taken care by the build method for each widget. So like as what we went through last week, we have stateless widget. We also have stateful widget. So the difference between these two is stateful widget will contain local state. So what are the local states here? Like here we have the saved. Saved is a local state which can keep track which word pair is contained in the list. And then, yeah, so the build method will take care of what is supposed to show for this widget. So like this one, random words, it also have a build method which will take care of rendering this part. So you can see that, okay, so it's actually taking care of the whole thing with the app bar and also the body, which is the suggestion list. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, hot reload the app, which we did. You should be able to tap any tile to favorite or unfavorite the entry. Yeah, so we just did that. It also generates an implicit ink splash animation. So the ink splash animation is this one. So you can see that there's a ripple as you tap, the ripple animation. Yep. So that's part of the material design thing, I guess. Okay, feel free to post any of the question in the chat in case I'm going too fast. Looks like we are already at the sixth step. So, and now we can navigate to a new screen. So in Flutter, how do you manage the app routes? It uses the navigator, which again is a built-in, which is already built in into Flutter. You don't have to import any external library to do it. So pushing a route onto the navigator's stack updates the display to that route. And then, so you can push and pop a route from the navigator's stack. So we will see what it means. Next, you will add a list icon to the app bar in the build method. Okay, so we will add this part so that when user clicks on the list icon, the new route will be pushed to the navigator. Let's do this. This part is new. So I will copy this and put into the app bar. All right. So we are at the app bar. So it can take in an action or a list of actions actually. So nothing happened yet because we haven't defined the push save function. Okay, there are some tips here. Some widget properties take a single widget, but some, such as action, will take an array of widgets, like this one. So like title, it takes in a single widget. So text is a widget. The title takes in a single widget, but then for actions, it can take in a list of widgets. So as list in Dart, it will indicate it by square bracket. So now we can add a push save function to the random word state class. Okay, let's copy this and we can put in here. Okay, so as I press save, it should hot reload. But I guess nothing new. Is there things happening already? Yeah, nothing happens here yet because the push save function is empty. We haven't defined it yet. But at least we can see the list icon appears in the app bar already. Okay, so now we will build a route and push to the navigator's stack. The action changes the screen to display the new route. Okay, let's see. What do? We call navigator.push. We pushes the route to the stack. So we will call this. We should put this here because we want to push the route as we tap on the list icon. Okay, yeah, because we are still missing the positional argument, which it should take in a route object, which we will define later. So next, we will add the material page route and its builder. Okay, so what we are going to push, we are going to push a material page route. And then inside the material page route, it has a builder. So this builder will define what to show when you push to the route. So as it mentioned here, the divide tiles method will add a horizontal spacing between each list tile. The divided variable holds the final rows converted. Okay, I will just copy this. So this should encompass the entire page route. Okay, if I save it, it will hot reload and let's see what's happened. Yeah, I can see already. We have front guide and grade shorts, which I mark as favorite here. If I toggle this, it should be removed. Cool, it's working now. Okay, let's see what happened in the code here. The builder property returns a scaffold containing of the app bar. Yeah, so there is an app bar showing in the new page. Save suggestions. And then in the body, it has a list view containing the divided, which is the divided tiles as children. So this is actually a list tile, which is, yeah, this is generated from here. So if I tap more, yeah, so each of these is a list tile. And each row is separated by a divider, yes. Hot reload the app. Yeah, so we have do this. Yeah, there's something magical about the Flutter Navigator, that is, it implicitly add a back button to the app bar whenever you push a route. So, like for example, here you can see the back button here. Even though I didn't add anything into the scaffold, like here, I didn't define any back button, but then it puts a back button here because from here, when I tap it, it push to this route. So implicitly, it put a back button here so that user can press this one and it will pop this route from the navigator stack. Push and pop. Okay, so this is what we see in the iOS. Yeah, so you mentioned here that you don't have to explicitly implement the navigator.pop, because when you tap the back button, it will take you back to the home route. Okay. Any questions so far? Or are you guys doing this on your laptop? Yep, all good. Thanks, Sandra. So now we will change the UI using themes. So now we are looking into the look and feel of the app. And Flutter is kind enough to provide a theme object so that you can manage your themes inside here. Then you can easily change an app's theme by configuring the theme data class. So if you don't define this, it will work too, but then you can always add a theme data to the material app so that you can customize the look and feel. So now let's change our app's primary color to white. What we do is we put this into the material app. So here's my material app. I'll paste this and save. Ta-da! So as I save and hot reload the app, the app bar changed the color to white. So actually it's not just the app bar, it's the entire background too. So you can try this on your own. You can use the theme data class here to change the other aspects of the UI. There are many more things that you can customize here. So like you can change like the highlight color, the focus color, the selected row color, button color. So except for the colors, you can also change the default font that is using. So there's a bunch of stuff here you can explore. So yeah, that's the favorite. That's the thing I like about Flutter, which is using hot reload can make us quickly experiment the effect of our code changes very quick and easily. So there is a full source code here. If you just want to copy and paste the whole thing, then you can get from here. And we are done. Yeah. So what we did is we wrote some code in Dart. We also used the hot reload. And this time we implement a stateful widget and we could interact based on users event like tapping. We also created a route and add the logic for moving between the routes. Also, we explore on how to change the look and feel of the app's UI using themes. And yeah, the next steps, we can go on from here. There's a bunch of layouting that we should know in Flutter. And then also there are many more kinds of interactivity that you can add. You can also see what are the other built-in widgets in Flutter. And lastly, if you are coming from a native mobile developer background, you can also check out these pages. So to give you a better idea and get you started into Flutter. Of course, there's also Cookbook. And if you want to learn more about that, you can also check out here. I think on the second session, we went through the fundamentals of Dart, where I think we barely scratched the surface of Dart. And you can find out more from the pages here. I think one of the favorite is I like this one, the language tour. So you learn about what are the types, what are the parameters, how to define them, how to write the constructors and stuff. And also, you should also check out this page, the effective Dart, which tell you what are the best practices or what is the formatting that you should use. Yeah, so there are the do's and don'ts listed here. Yeah. So I think yeah, we still have plenty of time left. Let me know if you want to go through some of the stuff here. I think the more interesting part is the layouts, even though we will go through the layouting on the next 2 weeks, but we can have a sneak peek on what we are going to expect. So here is the official documentation of Flutter. There's a bunch of stuff you can explore. But then the very first thing that I usually look into is how do you build the very nice looking layout that you found in Dribble. So here you can understand like what is the, how should you structure the widget tree in Flutter. So widget tree is like, here we have the root, which is material app. Material app contains the whole app. And then each of this is actually a widget. So like random words is a widget, material app is a widget. So you can see the widget tree in the build method of each widget. So in the random words widget, you have a scaffold, and then in the scaffold, you have the app bar, you have the text widget, you have the icon button, and so on. So in this example, we only went through one of the most basic layout, which is the list tile. I think we use list tile here. Yeah, so we are building a list view, and then each list view contains a list tile. So what if you want to build something fancier? Like for example, if you have two columns of widget here, and then maybe you have a bottom navigation, then on each navigation button, you have an icon and also a description, a label. Yeah, like this one. So you can explore on the basic layout widgets. Yeah, so in Flutter, when you want to align widgets, you also use another widget to align it. So I think the most basic layouting widget we use is the center widget. I think we didn't use it here. Yeah, so you can actually see that you can wrap each widget with center, column, container, padding, and row. We can wrap with center. So this should center the whole random words widget. Okay, so there is a list of layout widgets. You can see here. Yeah, there are many layout widgets here. Like the most basic one that we see in the starter app is the center widget. There's also a bunch of other stuff. But then the most common widgets that you should know is actually this, like row, columns, and container. So after this, when you have time, you can explore this on your own first, because by knowing these three, you can already do a whole lot of stuff. Okay. Does anyone want to show anything? Or if you have question, now is the time. Because I'm not sure whether we want to continue with this, else it might be a little too much to digest. Sandra is changing the theme. Okay. Yeah, or we should probably look into how we can customize the theme, right? So as we see just now, there's many things we can change in theme data. So we should probably look into this. So here there are some examples. Let's see. There's also color scheme. Primary color, body, and accent color. So what did we change just now in the example? We changed the primary color. Okay. Maybe we can also try with the accent color and the text theme. So nothing has changed. I think because this one is changing body text too. So in the text theme, there's also a bunch of different text style that you can customize. So actually, I am not sure what is the text theme that this is using, whether it is body text 1 or something else. I can, oops, oh, this is deprecated, I guess. Yeah, it's deprecated. I should stick with body text 1 or text 2. So text 2, nope. Let's try with what else? There is also display. Let's click inside. Text theme. Okay. There are some comments here. So headline 1 is for extremely large text. Headline 2 used for date. Large text in dialogues. Okay. Primary text in add bars and dialogues. Yeah, Sandra, like I also have the app crashes from time to time, so I guess it's a normal thing. So usually I just ignore and start again, and it should work. So yeah, I actually hardly use this text theme. I usually will set a few defaults here, like for body text and also the headline. But then what I usually do is I just go into each widget and change the style. Or probably because I override the style here. No. Yeah, it's okay. So you can manually change the style of each text here. So here it is using the font size 18 for this text. Okay, the accent color is not showing because we didn't use a floating button. How do you add a floating button? We add it in the scaffold widget, right? Yeah, so there's a floating action button. And then what is the kind of button that we should use? Let's see, what is it using here? A floating action button. So as I save this, then there's something appeared here, but then there's nothing yet. I should probably define the icon to show inside. Yeah, so I just put in the child. What is it? Icon. So now you can see the plus icon inside. Yeah, on press is now. We haven't, let's define an empty. Oops, did I miss something? Yeah, at least now I can see the animation. Or maybe we can check how do we implement the dark theme, the dark mode. I suppose this is using theme to manage it. Yeah, so here you can put in the default theme and also a dark theme. Then you can customize the things here. Okay, let's see. You can put in a dark theme. Let's see if we want the primary color to be black. And then we can define the brightness so that it can adjust the text contrast, I suppose. Let's see, brightness, brightness, dark. So you can also query the system's brightness like this. So you just read from the context. Hi Doreen. Yeah, this session is recorded. So when the recording is ready, I will post it up in the Facebook group. So you can check it out from there. Listening for dark mode changes. Okay. Oh, okay. So the listener for dark mode is helpful when you want to pass the is dark variable to an external library, for example, Google Maps here. So it can update the map UI accordingly. Does anyone know how do I change the simulator to use dark mode? Is there any buttons here that I can use? Maybe it's from my own simulator. Yeah. No, developer. Oh, okay. So I can use this. So now it can change to the dark mode. Cool. Our app actually supports dark mode. So I guess I can also change things here. But if I want my accent color to be something else when it's in dark mode, can do this. Yeah, so it changed the amber color. All right, so I guess that will be the end of this session. We still have a few minutes left. Oh, how did I support dark mode? I just put this in. So there's a dark theme property inside the theme data object. I can customize this here. I am not sure if I just comment this out, it will still work. No, I actually have to put it in. Yeah. The recording can be found in our Facebook group. So you can find the link of the Facebook group here. I put it in the meetup event description. So as you click this one, once you have joined, then you can go to the units here. I will put in the recording of each session in the relevant unit. So as soon as the recording is available, I will put it inside this unit. So you can find the videos here later. Did I answer your question, Sandra? Okay, so thanks again for joining us. And then next week we will continue. Oh, okay. Well, this one I changed in the settings of the, so you can find it under developer settings. And then there is a dark appearance toggle. So you can toggle this to change to normal or dark mode. Yeah. All right. Great. So next week we will continue with a new Codelab, which is the building the UI. So if you want to go ahead and start first, you can just tap on the Codelab here, and then yeah, remember to respond to our next week's event, because the Zoom link will change every week. So please find out our next week's meetup link. Let's see if I can just post it here. Yeah. Okay, let me post into the chat. Yep. All right. Yeah. So see you guys next week. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Bye bye.